Monte.
Oh, whiz, sir.
You realize that when I become a millionaire, there'll always be a job for you at my side?
Thank you, sir.
In a junior capacity, of course.
Of course, sir.
I think you know the toast.
I think so, sir. The toast is the Monte Carlo Rally.
The Monte.
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 Get out the jalopy and polish the wheels. She's gotta be the smartest of the automobile. Polish the paint work and clean off the rust. They see our chassis for dust. And when we arrive miles ahead of the rest, everyone will know that our jalopy is best. They'll have to admit she's a car you can trust. So it's Monte Carlo or bust.
As we drive along the plaza belongs with an independent front suspension. Every kind of new invention, any old thing you care to mention. As we hold the crowd's attention, we'll look around with some intention, mixed with a little apprehension. Monte Carlo or bust, Monte Carlo or bust.
We're on our way to Monte Carlo, although France say we cannot follow. We hear the French are very pally, and we're gonna win the rally, so we're sure to be the toast of Monte Carlo. Get out the jalopy and polish the wheel. She's got to be the smartest of the automobile. Polish the paintwork and clean off the rust. They won't see our chassis for dust. And when we arrive miles ahead of the rest, everyone will know that our jalopy is best. They'll have to admit she's a car you can trust. So it's Monte Carlo or bust my suspension.
Add to the stage. Here I am. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Family are well. You've had a good Sunday dinner. You've had a good time at church, whatever it is that you guys have been up to. And welcome to Monte Carlo or Bust. I am Dr. H, the Cryptopractor. And on this show, we're giving you crypto investing strategies for beginners in action. So with no further ado, we are going to get going, although I've got a bit of a mix-up going on here with my backgrounds and whatnot. So welcome. So today we're going to talk a bit about the best altcoin, okay? And that's specifically the best altcoin for you. Now, this whole thing is part of the Sunday Abundance show, where I discuss wealth and health principles in the crypto space and beyond. My wealth came mostly before crypto. I've been in the crypto space now for 3 years. I came from very humble beginnings, and I am blessed to be very abundant. And I want to share some of those ideas with people and leave a legacy both for you guys, my YouTube family, and for my own children. So I hope to leave this as a legacy for them. So more importantly, welcome, come on in, take a seat. If you are new to crypto, great. If you're new to Monaco, great. This is the place to be. And I'm going to try and give you as much wealth, much value in the next 30 minutes as I can. Okay. Okay, that's a that is a little okay. It looks like we've got the wrong presentation there. So oh no, it isn't. This is actually perfectly the right presentation. So last episode we talked about how to get a crypto wallet. So if you go down in the description, I'll have links to that, or obviously just look at the playlist Monte Carlo or Bust. and that'll be a lot clearer of what's going on there, on how to actually go through the basics of getting a wallet. Whichever wallet you fancy, the basic moves are all the same, and that is how to get yourself a crypto wallet. So you need that really before you can go on to this next stage, which is sorting out a actually starting to buy coins. How do you go about buying coins? Okay, I am Dr. H, the Cryptopractor, and I provide hands-on practical edutainment, simple crypto investing strategies for beginners, blossoming neophytes, and the next generation OGs. So that's my obviously my YouTube channel, and one series of financial principles. If you're completely new to finance, you're new to investing, then I highly recommend The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay, on my channel, you've got the whole book read to you by yours truly. It is a little bit fluffy at the moment, but because it's done chapter by chapter, and there's some other principles woven in there. But I'm going to put it all together so that you'll just have that in one package. So that's a great resource just to get some basic finance principles, because it doesn't matter. Everyone's heard that story of the person that drops $1 million, or in fact, I've even got a couple of patients that did that sort of thing, dropped $1 million, and before you know it, people are borrowing money from them. They're wasting money on these ideas just because they haven't got any foundation of fundamental financial principles. And the same applies for the crypto space. And there's even a term for it now, that sudden wealth syndrome, the term that just describes how when a person suddenly gets wealthy and doesn't know what to do with it, then all sorts of problems can happen. Okay, so you got The Richest Man in Babylon. That's a gift for you guys. That's already available there. Obviously, there's links to if you want to just buy the book. It's really inexpensive, probably the best investment you'll make in terms of financial education. Okay. Right, I'm going to bang out of this a second because I think I've going to pop the I thought anyway, just give me 30 seconds, guys. I am just going to see if I can give you actually something with a little more value. I think I'll update. I think I put the wrong presentation up, but I'm not sure because it doesn't actually give me the full name. But anyway, let's get on. Okay. All right. Okay, this is a better one. Right. Here we go. So the Sunday Abundance Show, as I mentioned. Today we're talking about the best altcoin. Apologies for that, folks. I put completely the wrong. I'll get that removed. Put completely the wrong slideshow up. It was the old one. I must have just pulled it up from last week when I was here. Okay, and the best altcoin. And the Monte Carlo bust is about crypto investing strategies for beginners in action. So I do want to get going. I do want to give you some value. I do want to actually show you how to do this, especially if you're new to crypto. And even for those blossoming neophytes like me, or next generation OGs again like me, there could be some nuances here that you'll pick up that's going to give you some real value. Okay, so just stick with me and let's get going. As I mentioned, we've already got a crypto wallet going on, and we're going to talk here about the leaderboard. Now, this looks a little different than what I did when I first uploaded it, but in the Monte Carlo bust leaderboard, we're going to talk about what is an altcoin. Okay, why would you want to buy an altcoin? How do you buy altcoins? How deep into the crypto forest do you want to go? Okay, and some of the things you need to be aware of when you go into that crypto forest. The basics of Monaco and the scores on the doors. So that's the scores on the current doors. Okay, as far as the Monte Carlo or bust wallet goes. Okay, so the premise behind Monte Carlo or bust is we have a wallet that has $1,000 in at the start on the 12th of September. Okay, and I've done a simple investing strategy, and actually next week's program is about simple crypto investing strategies. So come along to that. If you don't have a strategy, you definitely need to have something written down, not just in your head, because it changes as your whims change. And so we're gonna talk about a crypto investing strategy next week. We want to go. So here the aim is to go from $1,000. And we want to be able to buy a property in Monte Carlo or go bust. And by bust, I mean less than $2 left in the pot. Now, I am not a gambler. I am a investor in crypto, so I am long in most cases. And I am pretty loyal to the cryptos that I like, because I like them and research them. And that, of course, is the key. The first principle is that it's your money and your responsibility. This is not financial advice. This is edutainment, okay? Because it's your money, it's your responsibility. You press the button, all of this stuff could go to zero. So I'll give you a quick summary.
Are you not entertained?
Cool. So not advice, just edutainment. Okay. And how big is this task that we've got? This Monte Carlo crypto rally. Okay. So here's the thing: you can buy. I don't know if you can see on your right there. You can buy a parking in the Roman district for 290,000 euros, which is a little over it's a 10% extra for US dollars. So it's about 320,000 US dollars just for a parking space. I have clipped a little video for you about this, but I'll show that to you next week. And then the other one is Monte Carlo, a 2-room apartment. Now, I am not even sure if that is a 2-bedroom apartment. It just says 2 rooms, but 2.1 million euros. So around about 2.3 million US dollars for a 2-bedroom apartment. Now, I did calculate all of this. Obviously, a 330 or 320x I need to get my parking spot, and I need a 2,300x for my Monte Carlo nice 2-room apartment. Okay, so we've got work to do. But anyway, let's move on. So first of all, what is an altcoin? Now, Bitcoin was the original electronic means of exchanging value outside of fiat currency or outside of government currency. In other words, I could exchange value with someone on the other side of the world outside of the government control. Okay, it isn't moderated by the government. And more importantly, it's not moderated by a middleman. Okay, so there is no middleman, and that was the real beauty of the crypto system. In the past, you could exchange things by barter, but that's pretty much one-to-one. It's in your local area. But using crypto, using the internet, had evolved to such a state that you could securely transfer value without means of a bank or a government, and obviously all banks are regulated by the government. Okay, so that was the reason for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was the uniform. It was the premier crypto, and premier meaning the first. It was a premier crypto to ever exist. So there was a lot of very passionate people around crypto, initially around Bitcoin. They were very not just intellectual, but also alternative individuals or rugged individuals, let's say, but probably more, I guess they're geeks, they were rugged geeks, rugged intellectual geeks that want to make a difference in the world. Now, obviously, as a speculative asset, that has increased, and that's brought a lot of people into the space because they've seen the green dollar signs, which is ironic because crypto is really there to get rid of green dollar signs, or they've seen the value of it, let's say. That's probably more accurate. So then what happened? Then other coins started to evolve from that as a spin-off, different forms. And then the big one, and as soon as a coin appeared, then the gatekeepers or the proponents of Bitcoin, the OGs, the ones that have been there, the original old guard, or the original generation, they started giving a derogatory term to altcoins, and that was a shit coin. So anything that wasn't Bitcoin is a shit coin. So that's kind of how it was. And then a little bit less derogatory, the other term for it is an altcoin, which is a coin that basically isn't Bitcoin. Now, as the market cap of Bitcoin has gone massive, probably much to the chagrin of the original founders of Bitcoin, but because now it's a speculative asset rather than a means to tell the government to screw itself, because we can exchange value outside of your control, which was the original intention. And then now you have a new coin came in, which was again another unicorn. It was like Bitcoin. You could exchange value on the internet, but this time you could actually create products and projects on the internet, and that was the Ethereum coin. Okay, so as Ethereum evolved, more and more coins started to get produced. So now we're in a situation where only a few years ago there were 2, 3, 4, 500 different altcoins. Now you're getting 150,000 new altcoins or meme coins or whatever you want to call it produced every single week. Okay, so it's a much different situation than it was a few years ago. Okay, now so that is what an altcoin is. It's something that's different to Bitcoin. Now, why would you want to mess with anything that was different to Bitcoin? Now, 12 years after its inception, Bitcoin is pretty established in the world. It is well thought of. It has gravitas to it. However, it's still subject to massive volatility, because at the end of the day, all the coins in the crypto world are very light. They can be moved. Now, that said, there's a lot of liquidity, which ties the value of these assets down. Now, the more liquidity, the harder it is generally to move it. So the less effect there is on volatility. Now, altcoins, an alternative to Bitcoin, they tend to be lighter. They have a smaller market cap. They have smaller liquidity. We'll talk about that in another show, because as I say, a lot of you guys will already know what liquidity is. For those of you who don't, just keep an eye out. I'll put liquidity down as something that we're going to go through very soon, which is it's going to be about the 5th or 6th show, because that is the super, super important thing. That is actually the secret sauce of crypto. That's what makes crypto work, as opposed to stocks. That's why you can have 24-hour, 7 days a week crypto exchange, because of the liquidity and because of the mechanisms tied into that. But it is a little deep. I want to simplify. I want to get it really clear in my mind. Okay, so that's what an altcoin is. Okay, why are you going to have one? Why do you want to take one? Why don't you just buy Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin over the years, as the liquidity has increased, the market caps increase, as more and more people in, it moves a lot less. So therefore, as a investment vehicle, the returns aren't as great. The risk is less, but it's still subject to volatility. So finding a high quality altcoin is the remit of a lot of investors. Ethereum, another very good coin. It has more volatility and it has more upside gains than Bitcoin. However, it still has reduced gains over time. Okay, so therefore now we're going to look around at different areas, and Bitcoin not only is a cryptocurrency, a coin that's on a chain that isn't the cryptocurrency of that chain. So in other words, like if you went to France back in the day, you would use francs. If you go to the United States, you use US dollars. If you go to Japan, you use Japanese yen. Okay, so they all have their own currencies. And similarly, within a crypto blockchain, which is almost like a country, it's a country that constantly is recording all the transactions that's happening. You have your own currency. So on Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin. Now on Ethereum, it's Ethereum, but also on Ethereum, you can build other coins. So there are lots and lots of coins now, but they're not called cryptocurrencies. They're called tokens. Okay, so the tokens again are, now I'm going to use this term and you're going to have to bear with me for now. The tokens are basically leverage on Bitcoin. Now, be careful using that term leverage. It means something completely different in the crypto space than what I'm talking about is spot coin leverage. Well, what that means is you have, it's a little bit like if you've got a motorboat and the motorboat's going along at 20 miles an hour or 20 knots, as we used to say in the Navy, and you turn a corner and on behind you, you've got an inner tube and it's 5 meters behind you. Well, that inner tube, as you go around the corner, is going to spin twice as fast as you. Okay. Now, if you've got another inner tube that's on a 10-meter cable, that's going to go twice as fast as that smaller one as well. So as you go around, you're going to have the relatively those tubes will be going to go really, really fast. Now, those tubes wouldn't be going anywhere if there wasn't for the boat. Although the boat isn't going as fast as the tube, perhaps the shorter tube's doing 30 knots, and then the one on the outside is doing 35 knots. Now, the reason you're getting into altcoins is because you like riding in the boat, but you like being in the inner tube more because you get a more from it. You get a better thrill from it. You get better return from it in the terms of finance. Okay, again, not financial advice, but so now that faster action is what I'm calling spot leverage. Okay, now it's not like leverage when you borrow money in the crypto space. You can borrow money and leverage yourself. So, for example, if I had $100 of a coin and I put it in a leverage protocol, I can use, basically they give me an extra $10 that I can use. But the trouble is if there is movement to the downside or to the upside, you can lose all of that money instantly. So it's not just a matter of the value of the coin going up or down. When it drops below a certain level, that person is what's called liquidated. Okay. And when you're liquidated, it means that 100 that you put in reserve, maybe of a different coin, you put that $100 in reserve to buy $10 of or $110 of one coin, so you can invest that, hoping it was going to go up and multiply. If it drops down, say to 90, then you lose everything. Okay, that's not what we're talking about here. I would not touch that. I would not have any of my friends and family touch that if I had any choice. But it's not my money; it's your money, so you can do what you like. And if you're in advanced strategies, that might be something you want to do. I personally will never touch it. My billionaire mentor would never touch it. So if he wouldn't touch it, I'm not touching it because he knows the damn side more than me. All right, so you got to pick your. Pick your dishes, as it were. Okay, so that is why you would get into an altcoin. Maybe for financial reasons, investment reasons, you want more leverage. Maybe that you just like the product. You've seen the product, you think it's like nothing there's been before, and you've got to be careful because there's always a story behind a coin. For me, there's something called HEX, which is the premier certificate of deposit. It is the very first certificate of deposit that ever existed. And that's why I like it. And that's why when you see me using the Monte Carlo wallet, you'll see me buying HEX, and you will actually see me staking HEX because that's a passive income. Most investors love passive income. HEX has it built into it. And it's unlike a lot of other schemes which are ultimately doomed to fail because they're trying to give you interest or yield on a coin that it has no control of. So often, I'll explain that later. We won't go into that right now. But basically, most middlemen based yield systems where there's a middleman that's trying to work to give you yield, at one stage or another, they will fail just because of the massive swings of volatility in crypto. Okay, so if there's any middleman involved in your yield scheme behind the scenes and it's not part of the code, then that is hazardous. Okay, right. Okay, so let's enough of this silliness. Let's see what else we got to do. Okay. Okay, so we talked about the premise. Right, now how to buy altcoins. Okay, I did have a video on this. I am actually going to wing this in that I'm just going to have to open. We're going to do this. Okay, how to buy altcoins. Okay, now to start with, as I mentioned last time when we talked about wallets, you're going to need an on-ramp or an on-ramp primarily because we're buying. Okay, and an on-ramp is something that gets your fiat currency, so the money that you use in your country, into the crypto space. Okay, in the first world and a lot of the first, second world countries, they are regulated by the government. Okay, so because they want to know money that's going backwards and forwards, because they want to know if they have any taxes to claim. So that is what's going on there. That's why most places have got your on-ramp and off-ramp is KYC, which means know your customer. Okay, so in other words, you've got to give up your driving license, or your not give it up, but use your driving license or your passport to get proof of what's going on. Okay, if you just bear with me, guys, I am just seeing if I can get into my account. Okay. And most of these have two-factor authentication. If it doesn't, because this is finance now, it's not just like music or any of those things. So do switch your two-factor authentication on. I'm just setting this up just while you're off screen because I want to show it to you, but at the same time, obviously I don't want to dox myself, and I've got a nasty habit of doxing myself constantly. All right, so if you just hang it in there, guys. Right, let's have a look. See, just while we're doing that, let's see if there's anyone in the chat there. If you're out there in the chat, just say hey, just throw a comment in there. And as always, spank the like, boop the subscribe, ding the notification bell to all, and share this with friends and family. I didn't even share this before I went going, but if you could throw this out on X, that'd be awesome. I super appreciate that. Okay. Oh, we're in. We are in. All right. Now let's see how we're going to do this. I just want to make sure. Okay. Right. All right, again. Here we go. I'm just going to share the screen so you can see what's going on. If you've never transferred crypto before, this is how you do it. So you get yourself set up. Now, it's going to take 4 or 5 days to get set up with your it's going to take you 4 or 5 days to get set up with your on-ramp or your off-ramp. Now, remember, in the last show, I explained on-ramps and off-ramps are like porta potties, okay? You want to get in, do your business, and get out as soon as possible. In other words, do not leave money in your wallet on the centralized exchange, because an on-ramp is effectively a centralized exchange entity. Okay, now what do I mean by that, or why do I say that? Now, when you've got money in a wallet on a centralized exchange, in other words, a middleman controls it and not you, then when there's a run. Now, by a run, I mean high volatility. You talk about a bank run that used to happen in the 30s and 40s and occasionally happened recently. The bank goes out of business and everyone hears it's going out of business, so they go and withdraw their money, which causes the bank to go out of business quicker. Now, in crypto, when you have a massive burst of volatility, either to the upside or the downside, people are on the upside, when the volatility goes up, they're either buying like crazy because they can see it starting to go up from down below, and people like to buy red candles. Excuse me, I like to buy green candles. It's me that likes to buy the red candles, sickeningly. But on the and then when there's a big drop, then people are trying to sell their crypto, and a lot of these centralized exchanges actually mysteriously shut down or mysteriously have a technical issue. So you want to get out of the centralized exchange as soon as you can. Okay, so I'm just going to share this. Okay, right. So this is Endex. Now, I'm in Canada. This is one of the government on-ramps. Well, it's a private company, but it's regulated by the government, okay? The other ones are things like Crypto.com, Kraken. You can use them both in Canada. I know you can use Kraken and Crypto.com in the US, I believe. And obviously in your area, your region, you can search, you can Google online. Now, you do need to be careful. There was a business exactly like this about 6 years ago that went bust. Okay, so again, that's in here in Canada. I don't remember the name. It was something like Bit something. I don't remember exactly. But and that was the government regulated one. So do what you need to do, get out. Okay. Now, some on-ramps and off-ramps are more attractive than others, just like some porta potties are well looked after. You may nip in and nip out, but if there's a porta potty turned on its side, you don't want to go into that one. Okay. So there's some that look just like scams and actually probably are scams if you don't realize what you're looking at. So triple check that what you're going for is a real and genuine entity. Okay. Right. So this is pretty straightforward. You guys, I think, can see the, oh yeah, you can see this now. You see the dashboard. So this is Endex. This is the balance. You can see it. I've got 1.2 Canadian dollars in here. Now that is because, not because I don't move a lot of money through it, it's because I don't leave anything here. This is the dashboard, gives me a little bit of an overall thing. Affiliate links, I never use those. So Endex.io is, if you're in Canada, Endex.io is what you need. These are like transactions that I've been doing, so I may blow those later. We'll have to check that out. Okay, no, there's nothing. It's just a few transactions. Okay, so you have here, you have different tabs on the left hand side. You got trading, so this is for trading, and it just gives you, now the amount of coins it has are relatively limited. I think it has about 30 different coins. So for example, my favorite Hex, I can't buy that here, which is a shame. One day hopefully I will be able to, because Hex, or even Postchain. Postchain is what's called a layer 1. So for those of you who haven't heard that term before, layer 1 means like Bitcoin is the layer 1 for the Bitcoin country. Ethereum is the layer 1 for, or ETH is the layer 1 coin for Ethereum. All right, Ethereum is a layer 1. It is the blockchain. So Postchain is a blockchain. It has a place where all the transactions are constantly being written. It's a public place, so you can always see where the transactions are. Okay, but we can't get Postchain here yet, but we will one day, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in this presentation. So you can see you've got all the different ones here. Now, because I either use Ethereum or USDC. USDC is controlled by the US government, but you know it's stable, and I'm ever in USDC for a relatively short period of time. So what I need to do, I need to move my fiat currency, my $1.23, and I've already done this on a video. I'll actually put the video on there. I'll connect it to the Monte Carlo. I'll connect it to the Monte Carlo playlist, which is showing you exactly like, so in my bank account in Canada, you can do what's called an e-transfer. So you just set up the e-transfer to transfer to Endex. So say I move $1,000 from my bank account to Endex. With all of these things, or with most of them, there is no charge moving the money in. They like to have your money in. There is a charge when you move the money out. So that is actually what dictates whether I'm using Ethereum or USDC. You do have to look quite closely because the fees aren't always, they're often obfuscated, so they're not always obvious. So for example, Ethereum, it'll say something like 0.001 or whatever the number is Ethereum. But you actually got to convert that. And when you convert that, you may find like to move Ethereum, it's going to cost you $25, but to move USDC, it's only going to cost you $15. Obviously, if you're moving a ton of money, 10 grand or a bunch of savings, then that becomes less important. But to me, I'm a bit tight. I try and get the most I can out of most value I can out of it, because at the end of the day, they're not really doing anything adding tons of value apart from obviously allowing me to get into the crypto space, which is a good thing. Okay, so at the top there you'll see two. There's deposit and withdrawal. Deposit is when you're bringing in from your bank. So if I click that, interact e-transfers, I can click that. I'm not going to click it. It's going to throw some reference numbers up and stuff. You click on that, it'll give you a reference number. Remember this, when you move the money out from an e-transfer, really easy to do, but you've got to put the reference number for that particular pot that the money goes into. Okay, so your reference number is specific for your account. So when Endex see the money come in, they know it's yours. And I'm sure it'll be a similar mechanism for all other transfers. Okay, so in fact I know it is, like when you do a wire transfer in the bank, you can do that for like larger amounts of money. It used to be that any more than about $3 grand you had to do a wire transfer, but they changed the limits, so you can do like 10 or 15 grand here in Canada. maybe it's a similar setup in your country, okay? But just look into that. So I can do the Interact free transfer, or I pay $40 and I do a wire transfer, and you can do basically unlimited amount, I think 250,000 or whatever it might be. Okay, so you get the money here into your Endex, into your on-ramp, okay, and that will appear here in the wallet. You can see here I've got a whole $1.23 Canadian, okay, but let's say that's let's say instead of $1.23, let's say that's $12.39, so 1,239. I then want to send it. Now if I'm sending it to a wallet, I click here. Sorry, that was a withdrawal. I must have tapped on the withdrawal there. So send. Sorry, guys, I'm just seeing what's going on here. It doesn't seem to be popping up right. So we hit that. Oh, actually, I might have to do that from in the wallet. Maybe because I don't have enough. That's probably what it is. It's like 16. Oh, that's why. It's going back to, it looks like I've got to make a withdrawal until I can, I've got to put some money in before I can withdraw the 123, because it's only, it's like $16. Actually, that's what's going on. So it's Canadian dollars. Normally that I'd be withdrawing that to my bank because it's Canadian dollars. So what I actually need to do is trade it. We'll trade the Canadian dollars. In this case, I'm going to go for USDC. You can see the pair here. And I'm going to move this really quickly. Why you might want to stick with USDC, if the market is very volatile, it's going up and down, which in crypto you can't really tell, to be honest. But if it's going up and down, then you may want to use this. USDC Canadian dollars, well, it's not a great exchange rate, but there's worse. So anyway, I just don't really think about these exchange rates too much because it is what it is. So what you do is you're then going to get your USDC. If you come over here where it says buy and sell, you click on this, it gives me now this pop-up. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but there's a pop-up that's come up here and it says buy and sell. I know on my streaming software somewhere that sometimes this doesn't pop up, but I'll talk you through it. You have a buy and sell tab. Obviously in this case, if I've got 1,000 Canadian dollars, I'm buying USDC. I hit buy. The buy rate is 1.38 at the moment. Just underneath that, there are 4 choices. Okay, I've got market buy, limit buy, stop, or advance. So the 2 I usually use is market buy or limit buy. Now, a limit buy means you're waiting for it to reach a certain limit. So, for example, if I thought that the US dollar was going to get stronger and stronger, actually, I would buy straight away. But if I thought the Canadian dollar was going to get stronger and stronger and it was going to drop down to 1.36, I could set that up. But I never do that at this stage. I may do it later on, but I'll discuss that on another show. So we're going to click on the market buy. And then I usually do 100%. So I'm basically just going to click on 100%. So what that'll do is my whole 1,239 Canadian dollars goes in, but of course I'm not going to be able to buy anything on this because there's going to be a charge and stuff. So I'll pop that in there. You see the order value, USDC. It says the minimum quantity is 20. So in this case, we're not going to have anything up. But say this was like $123 or whatever, and then we'd have like 115 there. And I just click buy order. Okay, so I click the buy order. Now, this isn't like the in crypto, you can see when things are happening, and there's usually a set time because it's all driven by code. But here they seem to have quite a delay. Sometimes it can be like 30 minutes. But anyway, what will happen is you'll go to the wallet, and in the wallet, as you scroll down, you'll get down to USDC. Or you can search. One of the two. There it is there. Boop. You'll have your 120 USDC here. So you click here on USDC. All right. And then you're going to go send. Boop. And it asks you what country you want to send your money to. I use this term country. It means, you know, what chain, what crypto chain you want to send it to. So Ethereum is where I normally move through. You could go to Binance, Polygon, Solana. There is a lot of altcoins and a lot of meme coin, a lot of hype on Solana. I tend not to use that. I want long-term investments. I prefer Postchain for that. So Ethereum there. So I click on that, and then you're going to put in the amount of the wallet address. So you get that from your Rabby wallet that you set up, or your MetaMask or whatever. Now, in the previous show, I showed you how to set up your wallet. So you'll have that long public code. You're going to cut and paste the public code. Yeah, and you're going to put it in there. And that allows you to send money to yourself, basically. The public code never allows a withdrawal, always allows a deposit. So I put in my code there. Oh, crumbs. Yeah. So I put in my code there, and then the amount I'm going to send. So my 1,000 USDC. These are optional. I tend not to use them. But if you want to, if you like that, that's good. And then obviously these are all red because it's not going to work. But this would normally be hit green. So I'm going to click on that, and then off it'll go. All right. So that'll be, so that's kind of what goes on there. So that's an on-ramp, off-ramp. That goes off. And then you're going to go to your crypto wallet. You're going to open up your crypto wallet that we set up last week, so you know how to set it up, you know how to open it up, you know how to close it down. And in about, like I say, this isn't regulated as close as crypto is because it's a private entity. They could hold that for like 30 minutes a day, half a day. And I'm not talking about nefariously. I'm talking about they're doing it probably as a business model, because if they can keep your money for an hour and they can do something, trade with it, then they can make a bit of money before they give you your money back. So so it seems to take a little while going from the on-ramp into your wallet. But once you're transferring from wallet to wallet, and once it's under your control, you know, it happens within a matter of 30 seconds to a minute. Okay. So you go to the wallet, you check and make sure that you've got your money in there. And now you can move around your space to buy and sell. Now, how you do it, if you're in Ethereum, you're in the country of Ethereum. Each country has its own, let's call it a bank. Okay, it's not a bank, it's a centralized exchange. Okay, so it's completely independent. It has actually not all of them. So decentralized exchanges are independent. They have no middlemen. They are just pure code. Centralized exchanges have people in the background. They have offices. They have you know, water fountains, people working for them. So they are middlemen. Okay, so in crypto, the kind of more purist crypto people like myself, we're going to use decentralized exchanges. Okay, so what does a decentralized exchange look like? Now on Ethereum, the one I like is 1inch. Okay, so this is 1inch. Actually, I don't know if you can see this. Okay, share this tab instead. Okay, so this is 1inch, and I've gone to 1inch.io. I've used this many times, so I know that this is a genuine address. But again, don't take my word for it. Do your research. Make sure that 1inch.io is a genuine address. I may be here to scam you, which I'm not. But if I was, I would tell you go to 1inch.io, put all your details in, and then I'd empty your wallet. But I'm not. So this is 1inch, okay? And then what we can see here is this is the little panel. Okay, now this, I'm not sure if 1inch is a copy of Uniswap. Uniswap was the original Ethereum decentralized exchange. It's only been around since, I think it was 2021. And it revolutionized how we do business in the crypto space just a few years ago. Now we can see here, it says connect the wallet. So when you've got your wallet, I'm not going to connect mine in this instance. When you connect your wallet there, then it'll have the number of the wallet, the public number, okay? And it tells you what chain you're on. You're on Ethereum. So if I'm on Ethereum, I say I brought my 1,000 USDC here, and I wanted to swap it for Hex. Okay, I can't put that in at the moment. Okay, yeah. So I've got my 1,000 USDC, and I want to swap it for Hex. Now Hex, which was this, remember the premier blockchain in the world. It was the very first blockchain coin in the, sorry, not blockchain, the premier certificate of deposit in the world. So let's see if we can find it here. Boop. So we've got Hex here. Boom. So if I pop that there, I've got 1,000 USDC. It'll tell me how many to receive. Now I think it's giving me some warnings here just because I don't actually have anything open. And once I put that in there, it'll give me how many I'm going to receive. It'll tell me about slippage. You know, we're going to talk about slippage later, but slippage, you won't have slippage very, very small. Slippage means the amount you're going to lose as you buy it. So in other words, if you're buying like $1,000 worth of Hex, there's not much change. But there's not much difference. And this is all to do with the automatic market maker. This is the equation that's in the code that keeps all of the sides equal. Okay, the side buying, the side selling, keeps them in balance. Okay, but if that one of the numbers is super big, then to keep that number in balance, if it says you're going to get, say, Hex is $1, and you're going to get for $1,000, you're going to get $1, and you buy it, and yeah, you get 1,000 Hex. But if you've got 10 million USDC, and it says that Hex is $1, by the time you finish buying your 10 million, you may have only bought it at $5. So in other words, you got a much worse deal because of the slippage, because as the supply gets bought up, the price goes up. Okay, so that is the impact of slippage. Now, I didn't think it was a big deal, but when I started doing even a fairly small transactions, you need to understand that there's the liquidity there and that things are going to happen. Right, okay, so we connect the wallet, it does that, and then it says, do you want to make the trade? You're going to click on that. You're going to click on make the trade, and then a little box will pop up, and it'll give you a breakdown of what's going to happen if you make the trade, and make sure that when that box pops up, it's what you expect. You know, you're not giving authority for that protocol to take over your wallet, because it may be that you're on a scam site. So make sure that that is as you expect. You hit go, and it makes the transaction. Okay, makes the transaction. You now got Hex in your wallet instead of the USDC. Okay, so that is Hex on Ethereum. Now, in the next show, I'm going to show you how to get Hex on Postchain. Okay, so you're going to go one further country on from where you normally travel. Now we're going to go back to the presentation now. Okay. Almost there, guys. Okay. Okay, so we talked about what is an altcoin, why to buy altcoins, how to buy altcoins. Okay, so 1inch.io on Ethereum. If you're on Postchain, if you worked out how to get there across the bridge, I will show you that next week. But if you're already ahead of the game, then that's great. Hey, Conspiracy Crypto, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. I practice quite a lot of different places, so Canada, US, and the UK. But I'm putting together a video for those. Yeah, so I'm putting together a video for those of you in the community or in the larger crypto community, or even just the YouTube community. You want to find yourself a decent chiropractor, I will have a video set up for you so you can find someone good for yourself. Or if you're somewhere you're happy, just contact me on X. I'm at CryptoPractor, and I will find someone for you. Just give me a junction or a town nearby you, okay? And I'll get on the especially for people in the Hex community. Thanks for asking, man. Okay, we're just going to finish this off now. Right, so you know my guarantees: never financial advice, edutainment only. I don't shill crypto coins or courses, crypto courses, not trading courses anyway. No crypto coin sponsors or crypto coin affiliate links. So I try and provide the education with as much integrity as possible, minimal external bias. Just for transparency, I do hold mostly HEX, PLSX, so that's PulseX and Pulse. Okay, so yeah, and I just hold them because I like them. I've researched them. I like them a lot. Okay, you've seen my channel. I talked about that. Let's get on. Okay, how deep into the crypto forest do you want to go? Now, Bitcoin was the best buy when nobody knew about it, okay? When it was hard to get hold of, there were lots of gatekeepers. Everyone thought it was ridiculous. And then when it started to become more and more mainstream was when the price of it and the value of it started to skyrocket, okay? But you were buying in while the price was skyrocketing, okay? So in other words, you were buying green candles. And you know, as most investors say, you want to be buying red candles, okay? You want to be buying in the market when it's deep down, okay? And I'm going to talk to you later about my, I've got a bear bag, okay? I've got a bear bag that I'll be putting together as part of my strategy to get to Monte Carlo. I'll talk about that in one of the later ones. Thanks, Conspiracy Crypto. It is the best medicine because, yeah, because it's not medicine, but yeah, I know what you mean. Thank you. Okay. How deep into the crypto forest do you want to go? Well, there are more gains the deeper you go into the crypto forest, but there are, of course, more risks and I guess more complex. I don't know about you, but you're watching this, so you've probably got a learn for life attitude. I've got a learn for life attitude. Okay, so I want to keep learning. For me, crypto is my paid hobby. Okay, I'm blessed. I've got a job that I'm going to do until they put me in a box. I just super enjoy it. I do want to give back to my crypto community, but also to my family. And that's why I'm making these videos, to leave some sort of legacy. So how deep do you want to go into the crypto forest? If you want to go a little further, that's where you start finding the exotic things, okay? The diamonds have been found in most places, although you need to read Fields of Diamonds as well. That's another great book, but we'll come to that on another day. But anyway, so into the crypto forest, to get deeper, to get to places like Postchain, then you've got to cross a bridge. Now, I'm going to talk to you next week about bridging in. I was going to do something different, but I didn't have, I was going to talk to you about this time, but this is actually taking a lot longer than I expect. I want to honor your time. I think any more than an hour, then you probably need to be doing something else. But if you're getting value from this, excellent. Do leave a note in the comments either now or on the restream. If you're watching the restream, then the replay, then do leave a comment. I do circle back. I check them out. I try and use your stuff. Okay. Now, scores on the doors. Now, for you guys that are here, we are going to leap into, I'm just going to open up. I'm going to open up the Monte Carlo wallet. Okay, so if you just bear with me, you find people. Okay, we are almost there. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. Boop, 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 boop. Whoa! Just kicked up $150 since the last time I looked. So that is good. Right. Okay. Let's see if I can share this with you. I know I can. I know I can. Right. Okay. Oh. All right, guys. So almost there. Sharing screen right now. I think this is the one. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can actually see that. I'm going to minimize it so I can. Oh, you can't, I don't think, can you? Okay, that's not good. Okay, I can't do it like that because you're not seeing the tab, but bear with me. Let's see if we can. There is another way of doing it. I've got to share the entire screen, which is a little irritating because you're going to echo back into infinity. Boop. Right. And I'm also sharing the system audio. Here we are. Right. That's what we want. I'm pretty certain you guys can see this now. I'm actually going to minimize it a wee bit and do it again. Yes, you can. Sweet. All right, so here we are. So this is the Monte Carlo or Bust tab. This is a Monte Carlo wallet. Okay, and we're at 1939. Okay, we started at 992. All right, so we got a 2x in there. It had gone up to 2,800. So we're not quite where we were. These two things, for you guys that haven't seen Rabbi before, it's just super sick. This is, and I don't have any affiliate links to them, I just like it. So this is clicks on Postchain. It shows me all the assets that we have, or that I have on Postchain. Actually, I click there on Postchain. It shows me the Postchain assets. I mentioned about this retard die. Watch out for that if you guys set something up, because that looks like that's a scam. We've got Pulse and Hex, forked Hex, which is p-Hex. And then if I click across on my other one, I've got Ethereum and Hex. And it's just so quick and nice to show you what you got. You just click on it. And the reason I like it for this, so Postchain is a little bit deep into the forest. Now, what that means is if you go to MetaMask, if you go to most mainstream, even though I was using one, I used a couple of different ones that were recommended, but you had to set up every single coin individually. If not every single coin, then the vast majority of them. Perhaps they had Pulse and Hex, but they didn't have all the rest. Whereas this one seems to pick up most of them. I mean, more exotic coins it doesn't get, but it does have a lot of them. All right, anyway, that's me. Enough of me waxing lyrically, because I'm sure there's big downsides to it as well, but I don't know them. Okay, guys, so I trust that's been some fun. All right, let me get out of this so I can wind up properly. Okay, yeah, so I trust that's been of some fun. I trust you enjoyed that. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, if you could share on X, on Telegram, if you're in a group with Telegram. I should have shared this. I'm on ATX's Telegram. I should have let the guys know I was there. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic life. Have a fantastic week. Now, importantly, I will see you here same time, 12 o'clock on Sunday. If you didn't catch me live, come and catch me live. It would be great to have some support. If there's things you do like, put it in the comments. If there's things you don't like, put it in the comments. I'm going to see if I can get my outro here. It doesn't look like I'm going to get it. I've got an outro, but I keep losing. I keep losing my stuff just because it's the first time I'm getting organized in this sort of way. Okay, but anyway, so we're going to play out on this one. Take care, guys.
Thank you. I say, Barrington, good news.
More action, sir.
Better than that, my entry's been accepted for the Monte.
Oh, whiz, sir.
You realize that when I become a millionaire, there'll always be a job for you, at my side.
Thank you, sir.
In a junior capacity, of course.
Of course, sir.
I think you know the toast.
I think so, sir. The toast is the Monte Carlo Rally.
The Monte.
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 The Monte.